Childhood Obesity by Jenna Koenig. It has been noted that childhood obesity is a very complex issue. Childhood obesity is when a child is well above the normal or healthy weight for his or her age and height. More and more children are being exposed to lifestyles that do not promote staying active or eating healthy. Living these lifestyles at such a young age is increasing the chance continuing to be obese into adulthood. Staying active and eating healthy foods will better increase the chances of living a healthy lifestyle. In today's society, it is easy to choose fast food over healthier options because it has become implemented to be an easier alternative. Children today are not expected to know healthy behaviors when American culture is so caught up in eating on the run, which is not an healthy option. Children are lacking a well-balanced diet and time outside to complete physical activity. The influence of the child's family may correlate to why the child is facing obesity or already is. Eating habits and physical activity needs to be taught by the family so that the child knows how to grow up and is educated on the issue. If a family decides to eat fast food every day and does not participate in physical activity, the child is ultimately set up for failure as this is what the lifestyle they will also adapt to. In the United States today, 1 in 5 children are affected by childhood obesity. It has been noted that 11% are obese and 25% are overweight and on the road to obesity. In the past 2 or 3 decades, childhood obesity has nearly doubled. Due to the adaptation of the westernization behavior, dietary lifestyles are being changed and not for the better. Citizens are adapting to the easy access of greasy foods compared to fresh foods such as fruits and vegetables. There are various amounts of risks of a child who is struggling with childhood obesity now. Risks of high blood pressure and high cholesterol that can ultimately lead to diseases with the heart, including heart attacks, strokes, or other serious issues. There is also the risk of obtaining type 2 diabetes. This is when the body is lacking insulin due to the amount of fats and other substances the body is intaking rather than healthy foods. Childhood obesity can increase breathing problems such as sleep apnea and asthma, leading to the use of an inhaler or other medications. There is also the risk of joint problems. Muscles and bones begin to become more down and causing discomfort for the individual. A child may also face issues with depression and other behavioral problems. Since there are risk factors that a child will face now, there are also risk factors a child will face later in life if their lifestyle choices do not change. A child with obesity has a greater risk of carrying the obesity into adulthood. Although a child may face heart disease and diabetes early on in their phases of obesity, they're at greater risk for those diseases as they get older. As the child continues to grow out of adolescence, they are at greater risk for other various types of diseases into adulthood. As a pregnant mother, it is crucial to partake in prenatal care. Childhood obesity can possibly be prevented before the child is even born, depending on how well the mother takes care of herself and the baby while it is in the womb. After the baby is born, breastfeeding and creating a balanced diet for the infant can implement healthy habits on the baby as they continue to grow. As a child continues to grow into the preschool age, they will be able to make decisions on their own. It is important to implement and educate the child about appropriate foods and healthier options. Also, keeping the child active and away from watching television or playing video games will increase their want to participate in physical activity and increase their habits of being healthier as they grow. A child growing into adolescence should be promoted with a healthy diet and physical activity. Monitoring the amount of calories and fats that are in a current diet can better the chance of weight loss and a constant healthy weight. Promoting healthy Promoting a healthy lifestyle in children is the number way of preventing childhood obesity. Whether it be while they're at school or at home, children need to understand the importance of staying active. When a child faces childhood obesity, they also face other areas of health in their lives. Those with childhood obesity may experience hyperlipidemia, which is high levels of lipids in the blood. They also may face hypertension, which is blood pressure that is persistently high. Childhood obesity also comes along with abnormal glucose tolerance, and this is a prediabetes, and the child is insulin resistant. The heart of the child is also an area of their health that will be affected. The child is more susceptible to different cardiovascular diseases that could lead to a heart attack, stroke, or angina. Another area of health that childhood obesity affects is the sleeping patterns of the child. They may experience sleep apnea, and that is when they may momentarily stop breathing or their breathing is slowed while they are sleeping. Childhood obesity relates greatly to obesity in adulthood. As a child with obesity grows into adulthood, the risk factor for coronary heart disease appears to increase. It has also been noted that 77% of children who are overweight or obese remain obese into adulthood. There are numerous controversies regarding the issues of childhood obesity. In today's society, the question of whether or not the school system should intervene and take the initiative to increase physical activity in lesson plans opposed to sitting in class and being lectured the entire day. Also, the question of whether or not schools should be the ones to educate the students on living a healthy lifestyle and staying active, and also implementing healthier food options in the cafeterias or snack shacks. It also raises the question of if the family should be to blame for the child's increase in weight and lifestyle habits. There is a great impact on the health and wellness of children who are obese. They face many possible psychological problems related to depression and self-esteem. With their self-esteem being low, many children experience feelings of helplessness, worthlessness, and loneliness. Because of their weight, many children are seen as outcasts and not included with their peers. It is difficult for them to make friends and keep relationships because their self-esteem is so low. Children who are obese face issues with interacting socially. It has also been noted that childhood obesity may not be a psychological disorder but more of a mental or behavioral issue. Children who experience obesity also obtain body dissatisfaction. They are self-conscious about their appearance, and it has been noted that this feeling surprisingly occurs more in males than in females. Opposed to male children, females have a more difficult time with the risk of eating disorders. Bullying and other influences from peers can cause a child who is obese to turn to eating disorders to attempt and lose the weight. This is a more serious issue as eating disorders can jeopardize with an individual's health and cause further problems. Children who are overweight or obese appear to have an increase in emotional problems resulting in overeating. Overeating and the easy access to food is one of the main causes for childhood obesity. According to the text, it is important to care for the human body and be aware of the food that is going into it. Choosing to eat healthier foods such as fruits and vegetables are better options than that of sweets or greasy foods. The influence that the environment plays on a person's health and diet choices will decide how their life may be. There are a variety of ways to address issues of childhood obesity. School systems can begin to implement information regarding health and exercise into lesson plans and through the use of assemblies to get all children more actively involved in healthier lifestyles. The community is also responsible for being examples of a healthy lifestyle. The community also needs to be educated on prevention techniques and information regarding nutrition in order to be those examples. As American society continues to grow in this fast-paced lifestyle, it is important to consider the advertisements that are being sent out regarding food and the easy access to fast food chains. There is also the importance of implementing policies within schools to encourage children to eat better and live active lives. There should also be alternatives to receive easier access to fresh foods and easier ways to access physical activity. Building more parks and communities and creating more places where healthy food is easily accessible is an alternate way for children to stay active and decrease the chance of becoming obese.